All right, let's dive into one of the biggest mysteries in the entire Bible, the beast from the sea in Revelation chapter 13. Now, I want you to think of this whole thing as a kind of detective story. We're going to look at the evidence, follow the clues, and see if we can't crack the case of this strange, powerful, and kind of terrifying creature.
And this is where it all kicks off. The author, John, is standing on the shore and he sees this thing coming right out of the water. I mean, it is a vision just packed with bizarre, unsettling images that have had people scratching their heads for centuries. This verse right here, this is our crime scene. So, that leads us right to the central question, the whole reason we're here. Who or what is this beast from the sea? The text is just dripping with symbols, and our job, together, is to crack that code.
Okay, so to really solve this mystery, we first have to understand the bigger picture. See, the beast from the sea isn't acting alone. Not at all. It's actually part of this huge cosmic drama with a whole cast of characters. The source material shows us what you might call an unholy trinity. First, you've got the dragon, who's identified as Satan. Then there's a second beast, one that comes from the land. But our focus, our main suspect, is that first beast, the one from the sea, which this interpretation identifies as the Roman Empire. This trio is right at the heart of the whole conflict.
All right, let's get down to it. Let the investigation begin. Every single weird detail in the beast's description, where it comes from, what it looks like, it's all a clue. It's time to put on our detective hats and start examining the evidence piece by piece.
The very first clue is where the beast comes from, the sea. Now, you gotta put yourself in the shoes of someone living in that part of the world back in the 1st century. For them, the sea meant one thing, the Mediterranean. And who was the one massive, global superpower that controlled, everything around the Mediterranean? Yep, the Roman Empire. So right from the get-go, the beast's origin is pointing a giant finger straight at Rome.
Now let's get a look at this creature itself. 7 heads, 10 horns, 10 crowns, and it's covered in names of blasphemy. This isn't just some random monster movie stuff. Every single one of these features is a specific symbol, a piece of the puzzle that, when we put it all together, is going to give us a really clear picture of its identity.
Now, of all the clues we have, those 7 heads might just be the most specific and the most revealing. Honestly, this is the detail that could help us pin down not just what the beast is, but maybe even when it shows up. And this is where the code gets really brilliant. See, the 7 heads have a double meaning. Revelation later tells us that the 7 heads are 7 mountains. And for anyone back then, that was a dead giveaway for the famous 7 hills of Rome. But then it immediately adds another layer. They are also 7 kings. So the symbol points to a specific place and a specific time in history. It's incredible.
And here it is. This is where it all just clicks into place. The text says of these 7 kings, 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has not yet come. Now, check this out. If we date the writing of Revelation to around the year 66 AD, look at how perfectly this timeline lines up. The 5 emperors who have fallen, that's everyone from Julius Caesar to Claudius. And the one who is, well, that would be Nero, the emperor who was ruling at that exact moment. The prophecy fits the historical record like a key in a lock. It's just an amazing piece of evidence.
Okay, so with the 7 heads pointing so clearly to Rome, and specifically under the Emperor Nero, let's see how the other clues, those 10 horns and the blasphemous names, help us build out the rest of this profile. These next clues, they really fill in the details about Rome's power and its character. The 10 horns, those are widely seen as the 10 major provinces that basically formed the backbone of the entire empire. And the names of blasphemy? Well, that refers to acts that were seen as direct attacks on God. Things like the brutal persecution of Christians under Nero, and of course, the eventual destruction of the Jerusalem temple.
But the description in the text actually reveals something even deeper. This beast isn't just some new empire. It's a terrifying mashup, a composite of all the great world powers that came before it. And this is a direct callback to an older vision from the book of Daniel. In Daniel's vision, the lion represented Babylon, the bear was Persia, and the leopard was Greece. While John's beast, Rome, is a terrifying combination of all 3. It's as if it absorbed all their power, their lands, and their most fearsome characteristics. So, what this is really saying is that Rome wasn't just another kingdom in a long line of kingdoms. No, it was seen as the ultimate super empire, a global power that, just as Daniel predicted, would devour the whole earth and dominate the known world in a way no empire ever had before. But then, the text drops one last bombshell. After describing all of this incredible worldly power, it finally answers the ultimate question. Where did it all come from? Who's really pulling the strings here? And there it is, the final reveal. The text couldn't be more explicit. The dragon gave the beast its power. And Revelation clearly identifies this dragon as Satan, the ultimate spiritual force behind the scenes, empowering the Roman Empire to carry out its destructive agenda. So when you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, the evidence points to a really strong conclusion. The beast from the sea is a powerful symbol for the first-century Roman Empire, especially under emperors like Nero. And that leaves us with a really provocative question to think about. If the beast was a specific empire at a specific time, how does that change the way we read the rest of the prophecies in Revelation? What does that unlock about the book's urgent message for its original audience? It kind of changes things, doesn't it? That's definitely something to chew on.